Hello and welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. We have a new reading today that is inspired by the Celtic season of Beltane. So they have 8 seasons that include what we would call in modern day like the solstices and the equinoxes. They have specific names for those, but they also have what are called cross-quarter days, and it's the midpoint between those. And Beltane is that midpoint between spring equinox and summer solstice. And it really starts to put us in that direction of moving from rebirth into a little bit more productivity, maturity within ourselves, and it really taps into a time of, there's some keywords here, I'm just going to read the whole list to you: abundance, creativity, fertility, growth, love, lust, marriage, passion, pleasure, psychic ability, purification, sensuality, union, vision, warmth, youth. So it's really tapping into not just coming into the dawn of a new day, but kind of feeling that moment of knowing our direction and having an idea of where we're going, and really starting to sort of dig into that and like move the matter of life, and starting to tap into the rising, the sun rising earlier and setting later. So like really starting to feel that heat come on a little bit more, and that getting us kind of eager and going to kind of push forward with new efforts in life. And being that midpoint of spring is like really when the flowers start to blossom, and indicating that fertility is really in process. So I thought I would do a reading inspired by this. So if you come to this reading when I put it up, Beltane would have just been like a few days ago. And if you come to this at any other time, it's likely you're drawn here because there's some new fresh thing, new fertility around you that you're tapping into, and this reading will kind of help you gain some insight and direction with that. Okay, so I'm going to pick 4 different cards from this Season of the Witch Beltane deck, Oracle deck, and to create our 4 different groups or piles to choose from. Got Goddess, love it. Wanting to come. Sun God. Ooh, so the God and the Goddess are present here. Feeling this one. The Maypole. And that's funny, I did almost bring that up, that some of you may have heard of like May Day or doing the Maypole. That's a very Beltane type of activity, and usually associated with the festivities of Beltane, of celebrating it. And manifestation, beautiful. Love the cards that came out for this. Okay, let's put them a little more centered here. Okay, so pile 1, we've got Goddess. Pile 2, Sun God. And I love the Goddess is sort of like lunar energy, and then the Sun God has the sun here. And the bumblebees are out in both, just showing that pollination time. So pile 3, we've got Maypole. Feels very kind of community and festive. And then pile 4 with manifestation, Got bees again here. Yeah, beautiful cards. Love the choices we've got going on. Okay, if you are someone that enjoys the breath work I do, I'll jump into that now. Otherwise, you can pause here to do your own process, and timestamps are in the descriptions if you've already chosen your pile. Okay, so place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability and grounding underneath you. Now take a deep breath into your body, into that, to embody yourself and ground yourself into the earth. Now exhale that. Now take another deep breath in, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows. Suck in a little extra air to add pressure there. And then out loud, exhale, opening up your crown chakra, and gaze over these 4 piles and ask which one has your aligned Beltane message that we will use to go forward from now until probably summer solstice, and maybe even a little bit further along into like midsummer. All right, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, pile 1, goddess pile. Welcome to your Beltane reading. We're going to take a look at what is sort of coming into fertility for you, what you should be paying attention to in terms of that creation, growth energy, that growing fire that's coming through. So on each of these cards, there is an invocation that has been written on it. And then I'm also going to read the description from the book just to give us sort of our cornerstone, what the theme of your reading is about for Beltane, what's needing to be brought to your attention about Beltane and how your energy is mingling with this season. So the invocation on this card says, make sure to feel it in your bones, for you are what you believe. Ooh, so really calling in some embodiment, and through that just sort of like a knowing of, to me it feels like allowing yourself to take up space, to revel in your space, your energy, to love it, and through that loving of self and your energy, kind of channeling into that, you are what you believe thing. Okay, let's look at the full description for this. Says discernment as the key word. A goddess is not available to everyone. Sure, she may receive prayers and offerings, but only a lucky few will ever have the privilege of seeing her true form. A goddess must evaluate a person's true desires to determine whether or not they are pure of heart and will appreciate her gifts. You too are a goddess with the ability to limit access to your energy. Do not feel pressured to say yes to every opportunity requesting your attention. The situation you are inquiring about requires additional evaluation before you can proceed. Does this situation truly align with what you'd like to have in your life right now? Is this something you truly enjoy, or are you settling out of fear or worry that you won't get another chance like this? A goddess never settles because she knows the universe provides unlimited opportunities for her to share her gifts with the world. You too will be blessed over and over again. Give yourself the time and space to consider all of your options before deciding which one will be lucky enough to be a part of your life. If something slips away while you do this, trust that it wasn't worthy of your attention to begin with. And then this is sort of like a list of Beltane goddesses. It says Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty and pleasure. So whichever one sticks out to you, this might be one that you kind of channel and give offering tos during this time, the next few months, and really try to work with. Astarte, the Greek goddess of fertility, sexuality, and war. Diana, the Roman goddess of the hunt, the moon, and nature. Flora, the Roman goddess of the spring, nature, and flowers. Freya, the Norse goddess of love, sex, fertility, beauty, and gold. Proserpina, the Roman goddess associated with the underworld, spring and the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Venus, the Roman goddess of love, beauty, desire, and fertility. Beautiful. So I love that discernment. What you are working towards, what you're wishing for, what you hope to manifest, is it worthy of you? And really kind of whittling down, really focusing in on specific things instead of spreading your energy thin. Really pay attention to the one or two things that most connect to what gives you pleasure and gives you a sense of longing and desire. Yeah, that's what it feels like here. Okay, we are, since we're sort of in a Celtic theme with this, we're going to pick from this Celtic, I don't know, kind of like mythologies card to get another energy, another context here. This one. Surrender, let go, freedom, flow. And I love the Fae image here and the wings and just that channeling of kind of this butterfly time. I honestly think that you may be putting yourself in a box right now, and certain things you are working towards are maybe not good enough for what you could be asking for, and it may require an act of surrender for you to believe that you're that you could really call in what you actually desire. And I just am feeling such a deep thing of like surrendering into embodiment, surrendering into pleasure, and really allowing yourself to explore what feels good to you versus what your mind maybe is telling you you want, or expectations, or whatever overlays may be sort of on top of the things you're working towards right now. It's like, what can you just like really get in touch with that really lights you up, that really gets your senses feeling good and pleasurable and free and flowing? I think you need to do some work, like do some even sort of like wild dancing, get your favorite food, drink a glass of wine if that's something you already indulge in, maybe some chocolate, whatever you can do to just like really, you know, tap into things that your senses particularly love. What are the textures you love, the smells you love, the tastes you love? Just like really get into that and allow being in that space to then inform you about what you really are trying to manifest. Feel it in your bones. Okay, let's see what kind of spiritual guidance is around you. We're going to call in a priestess of light that will show a little bit about what kind of spiritual energy is around you, and hence what spiritual energy you can further kind of tap into and request help from. Ooh, death. So a priestess of light, priestess of death and rebirth, darkness to light. And I feel like there is a rebirth going on here. I think you're really needing to let go of old constructs of thinking what you deserve, or how big you are, how much space you can take up, how much you're worth, how much You know, you really need to kind of like write down a list of ways you've been keeping yourself small, that you've been in a box that feels confining to you, and you need to light that on fire. Beltane is really associated with bonfires and the fire, that growing time of fire as we move towards summer. So torch those, you know, write down a list of things that you can really let go about how you've kept yourself too confined or working towards things that don't actually bring you pleasure. Yeah, and call in this goddess to help you with some of that. Okay, let's pull some tarot to get some more context for you. Maybe specifically looking, I want to do this with a little more intention based on what we've seen here. What can Spirit key you into about what you should be looking towards? Any hints to help you move further towards what does bring you pleasure? Queen of Arrows. Ace of Bows. Ooh, I love that. Two of Stones. This is also kind of like a Celtic tarot deck, so just trying to lean into the theme. Then we've got, ooh, the Forest Lovers. That's a beautiful card. Looks like they've done some hand fasting, even like a marriage there. And Eight of Stones. I want to get one more, so I'm just going to push these. Oops. Okay. This one wanted to come, and King of Vessels. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, there is an elegance coming into the way you think and the way you are relating with others that is taking you from feeling sort of like the duckling into the swan. And you need to allow yourself space to take up that swan energy. Feel into that, embrace it. I don't know, like I feel called to say, like, write, even if you've never written poetry or you don't think you would be good at something like that, and you don't need to be, I feel like you should just kind of play around with some poetry, writing it, just for yourself, not necessarily to share. I think there's something elegant coming together in your mind, and by just like putting it down, witnessing it, trying to have fun, you know, don't take it serious, even if it's just like really elementary, like Dr. Seuss style rhyming. That's fine. Just like have fun with it. There's something there that like will really just listen, you know, listen to those language patterns, use alliteration, like words that start with the same letter, and words that rhyme, and play with different lengths of lines. I could go, you know, I've studied poetry a little, so I could go a little more in depth there, but I'm gonna probably leave it as simple as that for now. And how, you know, how does it, what you write doesn't have to make sense, just make something. And make sure that those sounds that come out, the words you use and the sounds you use, that more than making sense, they give you pleasure to say, they sound fun to say. And so alliteration is one way to find that fun in the sound as well as the rhyming aspect. So play around with that. There's something there that's just fun and that will like really get you in touch with a certain elegance in your mind. And I think it's going to spark something for you. New ideas, new creativity, really feeling that fire rising, and a new, like with this Ace of Bows, or the fire element being a bow and arrow, it's like there's a new focus, there's a target coming through. When you really get into your body and feel the pleasure of it, and maybe the pleasure of your mind as well, yeah, I really feel like a new spark coming through that's like a singular focus. And I did feel that, I said that earlier, don't spread yourself too thin. I think there's one or two things that are really, that you're supposed to be focusing on. And so this is like, no, there's one thing. There's a very specific focus that will come through for you as you have fun in language, as you have fun dropping into your senses and your body. And this focus it's interesting. We've got like 2 people here in love and 2 people here fighting. Like a little bit of a challenge here to harmony here. Ooh, I love this. Oh, this is exactly, okay, so when you get that focus that kind of snaps in, that you feel a longing for and a pleasure in, some inner tension you may currently be finding within yourself, like fighting about things within you, like inner battles, they will just like drop away when you find this focus, this new spark. And you will feel so in harmony with yourself that then your outer world will start to mirror that harmony also. And like things around you, it's like you'll notice the flowers blooming, whereas before maybe that tension inside of you may not have made you feel pleasure by seeing or smelling flowers that were blooming, but suddenly that floral landscape that's coming about in this season feels just like nothing but beautiful, and really filling in your landscape in a dreamlike way, and just like really, moving from like not noticing or caring to just feeling like you want to revel in it, and it's so beautiful, and it just makes your heart beat, and it makes you long for certain things in life, and just like alive to yourself. And all of this may really get you in touch with something that you desire to make a skill in your life. Moving something out of the zone of like, that's not possible for me, or I'm not good enough for this, or I could never be as good as so-and-so at this, so I try type of thing, to like really honing in and focusing and turning some interest into an actual skill, and putting work and effort in, and like feeling that motivation and drive and determination to, just like really focus in and really work on some kind of skill set. And I think that by unleashing yourself, allowing yourself the freedom to be a beginner at something, to not have to be the best at something, but to recognize that you can still make this a skill because it gives you pleasure, and that's all that's required for you to give yourself to something, you'll actually recognize that you hold a lot more authority in that than you recognized, than you realized. And it's interesting. I've never noticed that on this card. There's a sword here etched in stone, and I keep now, even more than seeing the eel and the water element here, it's like something's etched in stone here. there's something fated here. It's written in your stars. There's something coming through, a focus coming through that you just need to allow yourself to engage because it gives you pleasure and for no other reason. And through that, you are going to surprise yourself, and something very destined will come about with it. Gorgeous. Yeah. Major rebirth coming here. Okay, so to end this reading, I want to tap into the world of flowers, because that's kind of the world of Beltane too. To get a flower ally that will help to indicate when you are working this energy in a positive way versus coming into some imbalance. So this is patterns that will show up when you are working this in a balanced way versus not working it in a balanced way. Okay, and this one wants to come out. Okay, so you got chamomile. So when you are not working this Beltane energy in a balanced way, the patterns of imbalance you will see are easily upset, moody and irritable, inability to release emotional tension. Yeah, we picked up on that, especially in stomach or solar plexus. Okay, so when you are working positively with the balance here, when you are balanced in working on this Beltane reading, patterns that will show up are serenity, a sun-like disposition, and emotional balance in general. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Whatever gender you associate with, it doesn't matter. Tap into your inner goddess. Let go of anything that feels tense, restrictive, that you feel like you would like to torch. And let this, your senses, your pleasure bring you into new freedom and new flow, and allow yourself to really focus on something simply because it brings you pleasure, and surprise yourself. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Kind and thoughtful comments are always welcome and fun to peruse. And definitely, if you are not yet subscribed, I would love for you to do so and come to more readings like this. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2, Group 2. Welcome to your Beltane reading, where we are going to tap into what kind of fertility is coming up for you during this season, or whenever you come to this reading, that you should be aware of and really engaging. So the cornerstone card for you guys is the Sun God. There's an invocation on this card that I will read that you can write down and use to invoke help from, your ancestors, guides, whatever. It says, "Come all, come now, expand into the skies and join into the shadows below." Ooh. Expand into the skies and into the shadows below. I don't know. It's just like a very, coming into a certain power that magnetizes things. This is what I'm feeling like. Becoming that thing that life orbits, that things and people and life want to orbit because of a certain luminosity you are currently holding. Something about that Spirit wants to help you tap into for Beltane. So let's read the full description here for you guys. The Sun God is the ultimate expression of masculine energy, representing structure, authority, respect, and status. This is the card of the leader and represents all of the qualities that make someone a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, that energy of everyone's looking to, you have this energy people are looking to, that life is looking to. You're holding kind of the authority and the leadership and the order in something that is creating the flow. Let's see. Your situation requires a strong hand and systematic approach. The sun god does not allow his emotions to cloud his judgment, and neither should you. Communicate with clear logic and reason, and demonstrate your mastery and intellect. Any others involved in your situation will respect you for your ability to get right down to the heart of the matter. Additionally, this card reminds you that a leader rules with a strong hand, but is not a tyrant. Be mindful of arrogance and allow others their moment in the sun. The sun god is at his best when he uses his strengths to bring out the best in others. So some Beltane gods that you could work with during this time as a list here. So Apollo, the Greek god of the sun, healing, truth, and prophecy. Bel, the Celtic god of the sunlight, health, and healing. Beltane is named for him. I haven't heard this one before. Cernunnos. Okay, the Celtic god of fertility, life, wealth, animals, the forests and fields, the hunt, and the underworld. Ooh. Pluto, the Greek god of wealth and the ruler of the underworld. Ra, the Egyptian god of the sun. So if one of those jumps out to you, you may want to read up on their mythologies, give some offerings, really work with their energy during this time. Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like you are in this moment of like really feeling your center as alive with a lot of drive and willpower and a focus and a certain clarity. If that doesn't resonate, maybe that's something you're needing to work on, that Spirit is urging you to work on, because that's something that's trying to congeal here. But yeah, I feel like finding your clear drive, your clear motive, your clear desires right now is like really going to help you become a central guiding force that things will just organize around, and life will kind of build itself around you by just kind of holding the center of things. Wow, very cool. Okay, we are going to pick another kind of Celtic card from kind of the Celtic wisdoms and mythologies and all sorts of things. See what comes up for you. The Hare. Otherworld, shape-shifting, fertility. Ooh, that's cool. And definitely has the moon brought up here. I think that this is so interesting against the sun god, because I feel like they're a little bit, not quite opposite, but have very different messages. But what I am feeling here is that sort of like in dream time, in meditation, in any sort of astral travel you may do, anything where you consciously kind of, I would even like go into YouTube and find some like astral journey, guided journeys, or shamanic drum journeys, anything where you consciously decide to go on a journey in like another realm or another world, to bring back, this is kind of very shamanic to me. Like, I think by going on these types of consciously chosen journeys, you will find certain information, insights, revelations that really feel revelatory to you. And especially if this is an energy with the sun god that doesn't feel quite clicked in yet, that's trying to congeal, I think by doing these sort of otherworld journeys, that's where you're going to find the revelations and really clarify where there is stuff in your unconscious that is needing to be brought into consciousness, into clarity, into the light. And it's really going to help you to shapeshift where you are right now and mold and find that focus, that clarity, that central holding force, leadership force that Beltane wants you to find. Yeah, so that's interesting, because I was sort of feeling at the end about talking with the sun god that, like, I just got this sense that maybe a lot of you aren't quite in his energy yet. Yeah, and so that makes sense in the context of that there's some work to be done in the other world to bring back revelation and clarity and messages and insights and, yeah, whatever needs to be brought back to help you get there. But there's fertility in that other world for you to bring back. So, yeah, go find some guided journeys on, YouTube or any other platform you may use to, if you already do things like that. Astral projection, Akashic record journeys, shamanic journeys. There's all sorts of journeys you can go on in different worlds. Okay, let's see what Priestess of Light is going to come through for you, which may give us even a little more context, as well as give you insight into a spiritual energy you can call into for assistance during this Beltane phase. Touching earth, planting something new. You may want to even plant a tree, just looking at this hair card with the roots of this tree. Even if you're not planting something, like, there's something about, I think this gives me context actually, that you should, if you feel called to do so, I'm not going to make anyone do anything. If it feels right to you, I feel called to say that in a lower world or an underworld journey, shamanic journey would be very beneficial. And look, the rabbit's going under here, touching earth. There's something about touching the roots of things, going down into the roots of things. So I think finding like a YouTube lower world shamanic drum journey would be really beneficial for you, because I think that there's revelation, there's information, there's insight to be gained through that to help you to come into this sitting in your sun centering, your leadership centering, of really knowing your clarity about something you're trying to build or organize or bring order to. I think you're going to find that clarity through going through these journeys, and minimally by going out and touching the ground beneath trees, feeling the roots down there, and just like grounding into earth in general. Okay, we are going to do some tarot with this Celtic deck. With the first pile, I asked a very intentional question for this tarot, so I kind of want to keep that theme throughout. So I think let's just kind of expand on what we've already talked about and ask, what is it that you're needing clarified to help you get into your leadership and surety of purpose and alignment and motivation and drive? Like, what is needing to be cleared up for you? So 3 of Stones. Yeah, and look at this woman. Her body turns, where her feet should be, turn into the roots of trees. There's really something really impactful channeling, opening up to channel into you from the lower world and that's from the Celtic cosmology. They have the lower world, which is where sort of like plant and animal life really come alive and are unobstructed and very natural and thick and dense there. It goes a little slower there. I like to think that a lot of information about our nervous system also lives there. There's the middle world, which is where we are, where some spirits may be and some ancestors. And then there's the upper world, which is where kind of like more angelic type of assistance lives. Okay. So yeah, something like the gates to the lower world are like really reaching out for you and very open to you right now. So, okay. Page of Bows. Five of Vessels. With this deck, I also love to read the images a lot more than like the traditional tarot meanings, just because these images are so rich. So I'm going to take a minute once these are all out to kind of take in these images. Really feeling this bottom card. Two of Vessels, beautiful. Okay. Okay, let me take this in, for just a second. I really think for a lot of you there could be, you know, whether or not you're already with someone you love in like a spousal type relationship, I think something beautiful is trying to alert you to the fertility of that in your life, in your heart. Yeah, I see you pulling up something from the lower world, going on a lower world journey and really pulling up a new kind of flow and freshness and yeah, something that just like awakens you, that shifts. It's going to shift something in your energy. It's going to bring a new flow, a new youthfulness. And I love that because Beltane really is that, I don't know, I like to say it's like the teenage heart. I think, yeah, there's just like this new, you know, no matter what age you are, whether you're currently in adolescence or well past it, it's like this revival of adolescence that kind of comes through and just like really shakes up how you're seeing yourself, how you're feeling about life, and just feeling like a new expansiveness, a new weaving of potential and energy. And I think like a release is needed. Like once you kind of find a certain message from that lower world or from your roots or from just earthing, grounding, I think you need a release. You need to like dance under the night sky or, you know, just like her, or, you know, even if you're in your home, just like put on some mute, like something needs to just move and release and be wild and just like let it go and just be in a moment and be in your body and just be a little bit feral. And there's something about that kind of release and shake up of energy and feeling of your body that is going to give you that that centering, that anchoring of like, oh, this is my direction. This is exactly what I want. And it may be unexpected from what you would think right now it might be bringing. I think it's going to surprise you what comes from that, what that new focus is. But I think it's going to make you feel a lot more embodied and a lot bigger in terms of like being able to take up space in the world and in your life, and like really standing in that sun god energy. I think you're going to surprise yourself at like how much you're able to kind of stand in like a bold presence and really shift your life in like a really big way. Impactful big way here. And it's all leading to like a major heart opening, whether that's around relationship or not. There's some heart opening to come from this. Whether it's just feeling much more in flow with yourself and life and your soul in general, or whether that brings in some romance and true soulmate type energy, or revives, a relationship that's maybe a little stale at the moment. It's this sun energy. When you get in touch with it, it's going to shake up your life in like really big, beautiful, bold ways. And I think it's going to surprise you in the best possible ways. So okay, to end the reading, I'm going to tap into the flower realm, since that's a very Beltane kind of realm, to get a flower ally that will help you to understand patterns that will show up when you are not in balance and in line with working on what spirit wants you to work on for Beltane, and patterns that will show up when you are very much so balanced in this. So you guys got the hornbeam. So when you're not in balance, patterns that may come up are unexplained fatigue or weariness, like your fire, solar energy is not being let loose, correlated to daily tasks or responsibilities that do not fully engage soul commitment and interest. So that may have something to do with the change up that I'm feeling here, of like really starting to get a grasp of what you do want in your day-to-day kind of life, the rhythm of your days. Like maybe that needs to really be shaken up, and through working on that and going on journeys about that, you really find a new centering of what you do want, and that helps to create clarity and order and magic there. So patterns that will show up when you are in balance: dynamic involvement in life's tasks, steady state of energy. Fascinating. I love how much information came through with this flower to kind of give really specific context here. There's something I think you need to shake up in terms of what you do in your day-to-day, how you pattern the rhythms of your days. It's like you're maybe feeling currently dull in that and fatigued by it, and there's some new vision, new information from the other world you can find that shows where new fertility is around that. And stepping into your sun god energy will help you to shapeshift all of that in your life. Gorgeous. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up, and definitely love perusing kind and thoughtful comments. And definitely, if you are not yet subscribed, I would love for you to do so to get more readings like this. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 3. You guys chose the Maypole card. So in this reading, we are going to tap into what spirit is trying to help you to see about this timing of Beltane and over the next few months, what it's wanting you to really pay attention to and work with around what's fertile in your life, what you should be helping to grow in your life and give kind of nourishment to and energy to. So this card from the Season of the Witch is going to be kind of like the cornerstone theme card of what spirit is trying to bring your attention to. And on the card there's an invocation that you can write down if you want to kind of invoke guidance and help from the spirit world, ancestors, guides, whatever it is you tap into. So it says, I am fertile in what I seed, for there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. Beautiful. So a time of planting new things, I think. Life is fertile for you to seed new things, to really revive your life, refresh your life, really, spring comes every year, but this feels bigger, like this is a bigger spring, like this is a new chapter coming through. And so it's really important that this spring you really seed some new things that want to kind of grow newly into your life. Weave, thinking about the Maypole, because if you watch videos of that, or if you've ever done it, they kind of weave in and out of each other. And when this is done, it's sort of like the ribbons are braided around the pole. So there's like a new pattern weaving into your life, but you need to seed those things and take care of them and celebrate that. So let's read from the book specifically what it says, just to add to it. Don't wait for happiness to find you. You can choose to be happy right now at this moment. Sing, dance, spend time with loved ones, and celebrate just because you're alive and you can. Focus on enjoying life and doing what gives warmth to your soul. The situation you have inquired about is still developing. No amount of stress or worry will fix your circumstances, but you may find yourself with a sudden spark of inspiration once you allow your doubts to fall away. Solutions can come in the most unexpected ways and will often do so when you give your fears to the universe so you can go out and play. The universe takes pride in your willingness to trust in its power and move mountains on your behalf. You will be rewarded for this trust and all will be well. Do not think you must obsess over your circumstances or overcome them, and nor must you spend every waking thought on your intentions to manifest them. Let the universe know what you need, then go and allow yourself to embrace the joys of living. Beautiful. So this is also the message coming through of let go of some worries. There may be something you're needing to just sort of fill into the vibrancy of life that's blossoming all around you, and stop worrying about whether or not your own life will feel like that. Just as plants blossom in spring, that is coming for you as well. And so it's just let go, have fun, because I feel like it's like the grass growing. You can't pull on it to make it grow any faster, but grass is like a weed. It's just going to grow. There's not much you can do to stop it either. So just sort of let go and have some fun and indulge in the fertility that is just around you, that just is, and indulge in the fertility within you that just is. Just because it feels good and it's beautiful and it's unleashing your ability to, just be part of that, to live that instead of watch it or worry or, just be in the season of fertility is what feels like. Yeah, and I'll stick with what I said before. I think there's a big new chapter for you, and so it is important that you seed new things, but part of that seeding process is just acknowledging that things just are fertile. So have fun, just be in that, be present to it, and have fun with it. Okay, we're gonna pick a card from another Celtic deck. All about it's kind of, tapped into certain beliefs and mythologies and whatnot with the Celtic wisdoms. Ooh. So this is a mythological figure that I actually don't know much about this one, but certainly know plenty about owls. We can look at, so I'm probably going to butcher this name, so sorry about that. Bloodwood. I'm sure that's not at all how you pronounce it. But I'm pretty sure it's a mythological figure, wisdom, power, transformation. And I love the 22 coming through here. That's the master builder number. You know, owls here, they're very insightful, very wise, very observant. Trust your intuition. I actually want to try and find the, give me just 1 second. I'm going to find the book for this. Okay, I've got it. Let's read. Since I don't know much about this card, we're going to just read from the book. Oh, it's a pretty long. Okay, so the owl known as Bloodyweth, hopefully that's a little better, meaning flower face, or the ancient word for the owl, is surrounded from left to right by oak pollen, broom flower, meadowsweet flower. The oak is a symbol of life, strength, and stability. Broom is associated with the heart and sweeping away what is no longer needing. Meadowsweet was highly prized by the Celts and used at weddings and burials. Bloodyweth was a beautiful woman created by 2 magicians from the flowers of the oak, broom, and meadowsweet. However, she was created to be the wife of Lu, who sometimes did not love and who was unfaithful, so she conspired to have him killed by her lover. He managed to escape and was healed, but for this act she was turned into an owl by the same magicians. Celtic legends were mostly passed down through tales like these. Women were sometimes representative of the land, and the owl would normally signify transformation. There are many messages we can take with us from this card. The goddess was created for something she did not want. Is there something you are doing that you do not love and feel like are trapped by doing? Do you long for another job, another relationship, another life? It may be time to find a way out of where you are, to find your passion and allow your true being to come forth. Only through a deep transition or death of some sort can you expect something different to what you have now. It may take a lot of courage, it may take help from another source, but the outcome shows transition and wisdom. The owl has long been a symbol of wisdom. The owl sees through the darkness and seeks what it needs with great accuracy. Calling on the wisdom of the owl or those with the owl as a spirit animal will help you to see through the masks and illusions before you. There is no hiding from an owl. It seeks out the truth and seldom misses what it goes after. What must you leave behind to claim your strength and wisdom? In the end, only you can choose your path. Yeah, I mean, I definitely got the sense that there's like a new chapter starting for you. So maybe Beltane and that celebratory sense that you're being asked to tap into is just the thing you need to really find the courage to plant new seeds, to weave new patterns in your life, to turn the page to a new chapter, and the courage to let go of the old chapter. So there may be something this Beltane where you are needing to find the courage to leave what is no longer fertile, what feels brittle to you, that feels confining to you, and really find that ability to celebrate just the new for the sense of being new, not because you know exactly what you want, but just inviting in, invoking new, just celebrating, just tapping into fertility to channel and invoke new chapters towards you. And staying really alert to your intuition and to seeing the things you need to see in order to sort of really with wisdom and thoughtfulness be able to kind of let go and understand where you're needing to transform and where you're needing to claim your power. Okay, let's bring in a Priestess of Light to see what kind of spiritual energy is around you and that you can lean into for assistance when you feel called to. And in general, you have the guide, the illuminated path. So there is spiritual energy around you helping you to see the path from one chapter, how to close the chapter, how to be in that transition and transformation, and how to embrace the new, open, turn the page to the new chapter. So there is spiritual assistance around you with this, trying to help you, nudge you onto the path, helping to illuminate the path. Feel that sense of something right next to you, like holding your hand. I think they're that close to you. And welcome them in, welcome that guidance in. These Priestesses of Light are all very positive, healthy, spiritual beings. So welcome them to be your guide, or her, or it, whatever it feels like to you. It could even be a wolf here. Maybe it's a wolf spirit. It might be a priestess presence. But feel whatever, close your eyes and feel some sort of presence next to you that's beautiful and positive and like a wise guide, and what comes to mind, and imagine that there with you all through the next few months. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, we are now going to jump into some tarot, and I have been asking an intentional question for the tarot in the other deck, in the other pile, so I'll do so for you guys as well. Let's get some insight into, I feel like the first step here is that letting go. Like, what is it you're needing to let go of, and how can you do so? What can you know to help you find that courage, find that, I can't remember how to pronounce that goddess name or the owl name. Bloodlyweth. Yeah, sorry, I know I'm butchering it. You don't have to tell me if you know that name. I'm very aware. Yeah, like what can spirit inform you of to help you know how to step into this energy of being able to transition, leave something behind and embrace the new? Decisions. Yeah, maybe there's a choice you're needing to face right now that's big. 6 of Stones. You need to let people help you. There are people around to help you right now. 5 of Stones. Feeling it, you guys. Let's see, King of Vessels. Page of Stones. And Knight of Stones. Look at all those court cards coming out at the end here. Yeah, I mean, there is a decision. I feel like an old chapter is not literally, but metaphorically being burnt to the ground right now. You may feel a little bit out in the cold. You may feel like there is just like so much perseverance you're having to go through to kind of trudge through whatever this is, some endings. And if you're watching this right when I put it out, we are still kind of coming through. We've had our main eclipses, but it's still kind of eclipse portal time. So this, people that came to this pile, this eclipse may have really shaken up your life to a degree. And I think that there's just like, decisions to be made. You're trying to orient yourself because an old way of doing or being or some aspect of your life is sort of dissolving. Yeah, and I think it's really challenging your values. It's challenging where you are in like a hero's journey type of thing. I think you're in a mode of like having to trek through a desert or something, and it's just like, when will this moment end? But I think you're there. It's just like tapping into what you want, tapping into the authority of your heart, tapping into new values you are feeling coming alive within you, and then tapping into sort of impetuousness and impulses in terms of how you want your life to look, your environments to look. It's like there's all these new personas that are coming through for you, and they're just like waiting for you to step into them. Yeah, so listen to that guide, like really feel that guide beside you, because I think they'll help you to recognize these different personas coming through for you that will be ways in which you can move forward and out of this kind of trekking through the desert feel, having been like booted out of one area of some aspect of your life, and that aspect feeling like you're trekking through a desert to find a new oasis, a new sanctuary, somewhere to land. There are archetypes within you that are like new to you. I think they've always been within you, but you haven't had to lean into them really before, at least much. And they're really coming up strongly. So if you feel like, you are stepping into different aspects of yourself that you haven't really, that aren't familiar to you, trust that and really lean into that. Because I think these new archetypes, aspects of self, whatever that is to you, they are also your guides forward, and they're also going to be important aspects of self in the chapter that you're turning the page to move into, and they will help you to make decisions. They will help you to find your orientation so that you no longer have to rely on endurance. You know where you're going. You're not just wandering. You have that directional. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And these will help you get to that Maypole feeling. The more you step into these new aspects of self arising and really letting go of whatever's already going. This isn't something new. Something's already going. Whatever that is to you. The more you kind of just let that go and kind of step into new qualities and aspects of self that are arising, the more you're really going to feel that celebratory feeling, that courage to step towards the new, even though if you don't quite know what that new is, just allow yourself to celebrate the new and be free of the old, and just recognize that there is new fertility, both in aspects of yourself and in what's possible through these new aspects of self really coming up. They're going to change the landscape of your life. Okay, to end this reading, we are going to tap into the flower realm, because that is very much so a Beltane realm. To get an ally, a flower ally or a plant ally that will give some wise advice about patterns you will start to see in your life when you are not working this well versus patterns you will see when you are very much so in balance and on the right track, like finding your illuminated path. I'm filling this card. Okay, so you got Mimulus. So when you're not in balance, kind of not veering towards the right path or really putting the past behind you, patterns that could show up are over-exaggerated concern for daily life events, extreme apprehension of new thresholds of experience. I mean, that makes sense. Okay, and then when you are in balance and really looking for the path forward, tapping into these new things, tapping into fertility and just the new patterns you will see are courage and confidence to face life's challenges, radiant light that shines outward to the world. I mean, this feels so poignantly on for what we've already talked about. Yeah, it's time for a new chapter, and I definitely feel that this may be difficult for you right now, but trust in fertility, trust that, you know, you are the author of this new chapter, so it can take the form that you give it, and hopefully that is exciting, and trust that you have some special guidance around you for this as well. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you. Happy Beltane. If you are reading this or watching this during Beltane, or if you come at a different time, just happy personal Beltane season to you. So, all right, if this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Kind and thoughtful comments are always fun to peruse as well. And if you are not yet subscribed, please do so if you want more readings like this. All right, see you guys. Welcome, Pile 4, to your Beltane reading. So this is going to be your cornerstone card, this one from the season of the witch, specifically the season of Beltane. So we are going to look into what Spirit wants you to become more aware of and really, you know, embrace and put yourself into around this Beltane energy of fertility and growth. And yeah, so this is going to be our cornerstone card to kind of give us our main theme here. And you guys picked manifestation. So on this card, there's an invocation that you can write down if you want to use, you know, daily or weekly, whatever, over the next few months, to kind of invoke your guides, ancestors, whatever, to kind of help you with this path. So your invocation says, sometimes they come as a breeze upon your fingertips. At other times they dwell in the depths of your soul. It is a dance between you and Spirit, and the magic unfolds. Oh, I love this. So this is definitely indicating that manifestation in this context, or for you with this energy of manifestation, there is sort of a co-creative space with this, really touching into your soul, getting guidance from Spirit, and as those two things sort of mingle, magic unfolding. Okay, let's read from the guidebook to get really specific here. Okay. Okay, so it says manifestation is happening all of the time, whether you know it or not. Every word, thought, feeling, and action is in alignment with the energy of a future manifestation. This may seem ominous, for surely no one can control every passing thought. But with practice, you can shift your general perspective so that your words, thoughts, feelings, and actions are in alignment with your goals. It's a subtle shift at first, such as choosing to smile instead of frown, or supporting the success of others rather than spreading gossip. With time, you will begin to unconsciously choose the behavior that supports your dreams. This is where the manifestation is happening, in the moments between spells and ceremonies. And it is in these in-between moments that you remind the universe of your commitment to your intentions. Manifestation has entered your spread because you have not followed through on your commitment to your goals, which could be indicated by choosing anger when you have set an intention for kindness, or dwelling in a feeling of lack when you desire abundance. You have attracted more of what you do not desire simply because that is where you have placed your focus. Manifestation is here to encourage you to examine how you can be more in alignment with what you seek. If you are seeking love, then it is love you must send out into the world. If you are seeking wealth, you must focus on areas of your life in which you already feel a sense of abundance. And if it is success you are after, then focus on your previous accomplishments and you will seek the path of positive expression. You will begin to flow into the dance of manifestation, allowing the magic to unfold. Beautiful. So my sense here is that Beltane, being a time of great fertility, is like you are really planting the seeds right now. There's like a heightened time, even though it said that we're always manifesting. There's something heightened right now about really kind of manifesting. I don't know if it's like a new, we'll see if that comes out when we get further into this reading, but I don't know if there's like a new chapter coming in, like why it's so important right now that you be really conscious of what you put out into the world, not just intend, but actually do and act with in terms of your thoughts and behaviors and emotions and whatnot. It's like something is really important about this more so than at other times, and it does seem like there's maybe like a new chapter, so it's really important that you start that new chapter really positively and really beautifully and find yourself on paths that you intend, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, we're going to pull another card from sort of like a Celtic wisdom oracle deck to get some more context here. There's also that thing that comes to mind of like, be careful what you wish for. Do you really want what you are intending right now? And it's like a twofold thing. Do you really want what you are intending right now? And are you actually behaving in ways, as in thinking, feeling, acting in ways that support that intention? Yeah, so yeah, there's something about being very, very thoughtful and careful about what you're manifesting at the moment. Okay. Heart center, connection, love, receiving. And this feels like not only like a key to your heart, but like a key to a new portal. Yeah, I think that you are. It's like this, all of these readings have had this sense of like a really big new chapter starting, not just because it's spring and that's like the new chapter in a year, but like a bigger chapter. And when I'm doing this, I'm in the midst of an eclipse season, so that, even if you come to this at a different time, you may be going through your own sort of eclipse season in general. But I think there's some endings and beginnings going on universally, and the way it's showing up for you is like needing to be, as you step through this portal into like a new beginning of something, really being intentional, really being thoughtful about what you are wanting to step into, because you have a lot more control than you realize about what you turn the key to walk into. Some of it's conscious and a lot of it's unconscious. So it's just like needing to be really thoughtful and really caring about what you want in a new chapter, and you're co-creating this. So it's important that initial step into this new chapter be done in a very thoughtful way, very intentional, purposeful way, because that sets the tone for a big new chapter to come, not just in a year, but it could be a 10-year chapter, who knows? So like really needing to engage this in a very thoughtful way. Okay, we're going to call in a priestess of light to show what kind of spiritual guidance is around you, energy around you, hence what can you also even more intentionally call in and ask for. You guys, you can't make this up. Portal. Right. Okay. So that's confirmation. Infinite mind, awakening consciousness. Yeah, I mean, it really is a new portal. And so you really need to, more than like going on some kind of like lecture about making sure you're putting love out into the world, if that's what you're trying to manifest, it's also about expanding what you feel like you deserve, like really shooting your shot, really going for something much bigger than the chapters you've co-created previously in your life. Like, have you typically walked through portals and new chapters that are a little, confined or too small for you? Like, there's just something about like, yeah, awakening to a much bigger potential here. So beyond being mindful of what you're actually doing that matches your intentions, really trying to open up and expand into what you think you are capable of receiving, and just being bold about what you want to manifest. Totally. Okay, so we're going to do some tarot to go further here. And in all of the other piles, I've asked a specific or held a specific intention to, see what, to get answers through Spirit and Tarot here. So I'm curious, based on what's now come up, and this, for some of you, this may have to do with like thinking about love too, what you deserve in love. For others, it may just be like really needing to tap into your heart and what your heart knows you are deserving of, and like waking you up to what you could co-create and choosing much bigger portals to occupy. But I want insight from Spirit to help bring about this awakening of consciousness of what could be. I want tarot to show you what could be, and so how you're needing to think bigger, to awaken to bolder possibility for yourself. So 4 of Arrows. King of Arrows. That feels like a difference, like where you've been has been at a level 4. Where you could go is a king. That's the difference. So if you were to say like 1 to 10 is the normal scale, but then like, the page, queen, king are even beyond that scale. This is saying you've been walking through portals expecting a 4 and getting a 4, when you could be asking for a king. You could be asking for a very regal, commanding, wide open life. Yeah, okay. The Stag. Four of Stones. You have the strength you need to get out from under, like, I don't know if there's some insecurity you've been living with, or you're just insecure about taking up more space or living a bigger life. And these 2 cards are indicating that you're ready to do so. You're ready to step into much bigger shoes. You're ready to move from acting like this little doe that needs hiding and protection because it's lost or just little, into stepping into this stag, this fully fledged antler stag with wardrobe and tools and, just like, yeah, out of some kind of hyper protectiveness about yourself and life and taking shelter and kind of burrowing away, which is all cozy and nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. It feels very cozy and safe and great. But this is saying that the next portal you step through, you need to really occupy some big shoes. You need to take up your space. You need to let your heart sing and fight and dance and be dramatic. It's like, I don't know if that's great wisdom to ask for drama, but something here is just like, you need to be part of the drama of life, like taking up your space and claiming it and being strong and, yeah, powerful. Right. Okay, last two cards. Four of Bows. I think by doing that, you step into recognizing how easy and fun it is to actually occupy that kind of space. Yeah, it's time to walk away from being this doe into being this stag. And this is what you're going to find: celebration, embodiment, warmth, community, your heart's desire, the key to your heart. You really come alive when you occupy this strength position. Your heart, your boldness, your courage, your regality, your nobility, all of it. Be big. Okay, last card here. We are going to call on the plant and flower kingdom for an ally that is going to help you, give you some guidance about patterns that will show up in your life with what you're working on or being guided to work on with Beltane, with this Beltane portal. What patterns will show up when you are not following the guidance being given here, and patterns that will show up when you are and things are coming more into balance for you. Okay, so peppermint is what we got. So when you are not in balance, when you are not working this well, patterns that will show up: dull or sluggish, especially mental lethargy, underactive metabolism, which depletes mental forces. When in balance, when you're really on track with diving into all of this, mindful and wakeful clarity, warm metabolism balanced with cool head forces. Yeah, cool. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Happy either literal Beltane or personal Beltane if this is a totally different time you've come here. I hope this resonated, and if so, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It's always fun to also peruse kind and thoughtful small comments, and definitely if you are not yet subscribed, I would love for you to do so to get more readings like this. All right, see you guys.